Good day, friends and foes. This is my very first video which theme and focus will be about this reviewing the movie The Revenant.
I ain't afraid to die anymore.
The story of The Revenant is about the life of Hugh Glass, a notable figure in the history of the Americas, with his life being one of the well-recorded events in the history of the early occupation of the Europeans in the Americas. So, this Revenant, as we all know, the success of this movie gave Leonardo DiCaprio his first ever Oscars. At the same time, gives the Best Director Award for the Mexican director Alejandro González Iñárritu, and it receives the award for the Best Pictures and the Oscars. So again, let's go back to the story. Hugh Glass was part of the fur trapping expedition at South Dakota when he and his companions encountered the Native American Indians, the Encaras tribe. In this encounter, the decrease in numbers of these expeditioners, with Hugh Glass and some of his companions barely escaping from this attack. Hugh Glass encountered this struggle with a bear, and with this difficulty in the situation of Hugh Glass, this led to his companions to think of leaving him alone in the forest journey back to the camp. In the content of this story also, it was depicted that John Fitzgerald, which is the antagonist of this story, one of the companions of Hugh Glass, killed the son of Hugh Glass, named as Hawk. And in this reason, Hugh Glass was convinced to struggle back despite the difficult situations that he is facing, gives him the courage to struggle to really go back to the camp and to avenge the death of his son. So, with full content of this story, it depicts this struggle between man and nature, with Hugh Glass struggling from the cold climates, the snowy mountains of the Americas of the time, as well as his suffering in order to run away from the following Native American Indians. He did this with his knowledge of how to really struggle with the nature. He jumped to the waterfalls, then when he fall into the mountain, in order to survive the cold climate, he disemboweled a horse and then he used it as a warm dwelling. So this really shows how man struggles in the nature, as well as it depicts the primal violence that happens on this time, which is the common scenario for the early days of the European occupation of the Americas. It is by this reason that this movie somehow depicts what really was going on in the Americas in those early days. It was well recorded, and that's the reason why it was retained until this very moment, with the stories and the newspapers published in 1824, which notes of this complete movie package depiction of what happens in the life of Hugh Glass and in his struggle and in his purposes and his desires, which is depicted in the content of this movie. So that is The Revenant, a movie that is worth watching. And thank you for tuning and thank you for watching. This is Chris Morales reporting for this review on the movie The Revenant.